Paul. Could I go to Rob Harris next, and then it'll be Dan Pentland. Thank you. Rob, thank you.
Hi there, so I'll just close that. Hi there, welcome to the job.
Thank you.
And obviously you applied for the assistant job, but you've now got the acting top job. You were nominated for FIFA Coach of the Year last year. You've won so many Norwegian titles. The fact that you applied for an assistant job and the youth job in Norway, does that show you've got no ego? The fact that actually, you know, you don't believe that you have to apply for the top job if it's a way of sort of getting into the position that you want to get to, and it's a sort of slower path?
Yeah, I feel I'm comfortable in all positions. I've been assistant coach, I've been head coach, I've been, it's not about me, it's about the coaching staff that we have. And I trust the team I have around me. And this is a good group for us to coach. And when Phil never left and I was asked to do the February camp, I said yes, because I know the support I have with the coaching staff.
And you've obviously got experience already on an Olympic winning team with the US in 2012. Do you think there's something from that will, you know, you've got the qualities to provide to help Team GB in Tokyo? And also just on the Tokyo Olympics, have you seen the comments from Yoshimori, the president of the Olympic Games, the sexist and derogatory comments, whether you've seen those and whether you find it frustrating the fact someone in that position could make comments in this day and age?
Well, about the comment, I just, I didn't see it, but I heard about that, and that's no comment for a man in that position and we should not accept that. So I guess he kind of regret that. I hope so, because we don't want that kind of comments. What was the other question?
On your experience from 2012 and what that you can bring from that 2012 experience.
Like being in the tournament is totally different from having games qualifying, or because this will be demanding for the staff and for the players to play 7 games in 16 days. So, and I think to be there, you have been there, you know the energy that lacking. So kind of organize everything to be less exhausting for all of us, and to be able to perform every third day. It's a good experience that I have from before.
Thanks a lot, and good luck. Hopefully meet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. If I could suggest now we have a further 3 questions, and I'll go next to Dan, and then we can move into an embargoed section for the last 10 minutes for Wednesday's newspapers, I should say. So if you do have a question in this section before we go under embargo, if you could raise your hand now, and I will throw now to Dan Pentland, please, for Full-Time Magazine.
Thanks very much. Hi, Hege. Good luck in the job and nice to speak to you. Obviously, Joe mentioned earlier about the 3 young goalkeepers. It feels like in England, we seem to have a little bit of a conveyor belt at the minute of producing really good young goalkeepers. You know, just how strong is that position? You know, is that the strongest position in the England team?
I didn't quite understand the question. Sorry.
Sorry. So in England, we're producing some really good goalkeepers at the minute. You know, is the goalkeeping position the strongest in the English team?
I'm sorry. I think, yeah.
May I rephrase slightly? So it's a question about the strength of the number 1 position, the goalkeeper for England. Are you pleased with the strength in that position?
Okay, yeah. Well, 3 young keepers that play regularly for the club, performing good. compare with the experience and lack of playing time. I think giving them a chance, the young ones, to grow into the role, I think that will be beneficial going forward. If things change with the playing time, with the more experienced goalkeeper, that changed my view a little bit. But the experience is good, but if you don't get the playing time, it's hard to go 7 months ahead with lack of minutes of playing.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Hege. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. If we could go now to Anton for Sky Sports News. Thank you, Anton.
That's right, Wendy. Thank you. Hi, Hege. Nice to see you. First off, look, this is a team. I know it's a fantastic looking squad, but it's a team that's lost 7 in 11 matches. How tempted were you to change things up and bring in a lot more new players?
I feel like I've been looking at many players. We had like a long list of players, but we wanted to narrow it down to get the competitive squad to make it going forward a real competitive going into Olympics, and know the physicality, the mentality, that we are sure that the players adapt to that and can be in the Olympics. And this is an England squad, and going to Olympics is a GB with other nation player as well. So I think for all of us, this is exciting going forward as well. So it's a good squad that I'm very comfortable bringing in.
So this is going to be the core group of players you're going to work with for the next few months, I'm guessing.
Well, I will of course following all the games in the league, and if I see a player that we think we should bring in, we of course discuss that, and that might happen. It might be that next camp is 1 or 2 player extra. We don't know that.
I want to ask you about something slightly different. One of the biggest talking points around football at the moment is players dealing with online hatred. If that appears while you're in camp, how are you going to deal with that as a team?
Well, we cannot accept that. This shouldn't be in the society. It shouldn't be in any sport or in the society. So we, as a federation, will take lead on that, and not for me, but to discuss with my staff how we're gonna cooperate with that or deal with it.
Hege, sorry, finally from me, we all know what you were like as a player, but over here in the UK, we're not too sure about what you're like as a coach and a kind of personality. What are you going to bring to the camp? How are you going to work with the players? How are you going to do things differently?
Well, with the coaching staff that I have around me, we will work closely. All of them will be involved, and I will get my idea out in the attacking and defending, and then we work around that so everyone knows. And it's not a big change. I just wanted to change a few things, and maybe more so with the competitive squad to make it more game-like, more competitive, and in that perspective kind of mentally prepared for more energy, more beliefs in what we do.
That's great. Have a great camp.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anton. Okay, I can see 3 more hands before we go to the embargoed section. So if I could go next to Asif Buren, please, for Forbes. Thanks.
Hi, Hege. As a player, you always did very well against England, including an 8-0 win in 2000. So do you see similarities in playing style between the teams then and now? Is there a particular English style of play that you will work with, or will you bring your own style to the Lionesses?
I think hopefully I can bring more of the confidence in the style that they have been playing and make small changes in that. When I played against England, they wasn't developing as they are now. they have improved massively, and now one of the top nations. So I hopefully just add a few things, but more so the believe in what we are doing. That will be almost the key message. Believe how good we are, and think that winning a goal is possible. And that will be our message in the camp, to be brave and believer.
And also, I spoke to Pia Sundhage about your qualities as a coach. She wished you all the luck and said you were someone who was very reflective and listened to your players. Is that still your coaching style now?
Yeah, I like to get to know the players. I like to have discussions. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult now with no one-to-one meetings or just everything through the screen. But I like, because as a player, you have an idea how you play, staying on the sideline. Like, I like the discussion because it involves the player, and then it's up to me and the coaching staff to kind of seal out what we think is important and not.
Okay, thank you, Hege. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Asif. Could we go to Phil Medlicott now, please, for PA?
Hege, I just want to know what it is that you want to see from your team, specifically in this match against Northern Ireland. Is the result important at all, or is it more about something else?
We always want to win, but if we perform and do what we want to achieve, and we see that in the game, I will be happy. But of course, we hope to be able to work on breaking down the opponent, create chances with numbers in the box, and be enthusiastic and energized when we step on the field. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Phil. Could we go to Katie Wyatt now for The Athletic?
Hi, Hege. I just wanted to ask, you mentioned about how this is a narrowing down of the squad ahead of the Olympics. Does this mean that players that have not been included are now out of the running for the Olympics, or are they still in with a chance of making the GB squad?
They are still in the chance of making the GB squad, yeah. So we will continue following every game in the league, and during the camp also following all the players, and of course coming into the next camp in April, where we hopefully have 2 games. Then it might be different players, but it might also be the same players. So that will continuing with the work that we are doing.
And then last one from me, what specifically did you look for when you were picking the players? What were the things that you wanted to see from them and that influenced your decision?
It's more like the key factor going into Olympics. We need to have the physicality, we need to have the mentality, and that will be some reason bringing these players in to believe that we have they have it, and then the quality, the positioning, if they can play different position, that matters as well. Yeah, we feel like the squad now is competitive, and but it's for other players to perform, and they will be in discussions.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katie. We'll squeeze one last question in from Faye Carruthers again at TalkSport, and then we shall move into an embargoed section.
Thank you, Wendy, and thank you, Hege. Sorry, I forgot to ask this before. We've talked a lot on our station about female coaches in the men's game in England. It's just not something, unfortunately, over here that you see very much, even though it happens in other countries. And I just wondered what your opinion was on it, and whether you think in England, in the men's game, we will someday soon get a female coach in charge of a men's team.
I actually think that's worldwide, that you don't have female coaches in any of the men's football clubs. So that's something we need to work together. But having more coaches coming up the pathway now in all the nations, and UEFA and FIFA put that high up on the agenda, I think that will change in the future, and hopefully not too long have the female coaches in the squad of the big clubs.
And whenever anybody always criticizes the potential of a female coach coming in, I'm thinking Emma Hayes and her links with AFC Wimbledon. The question always is, a woman can't manage or coach men. What is the difference?
Yeah, what is the difference? Is you're dealing with players and you're dealing with the game, and it shouldn't be that different. Because the speed of the play on the men's side, on the women's side is different. But of course, everyone needs to adapt to the speed of play. So it's more that than manage to the field or player or outside as well.
Great, thanks very much.